one from long range, and he's hit the top corner. It's a beauty for Daryl Fordyce. Here, and Lang's just gone past his marker and driven one into the back of the net. And FC Edmonton are on fire this afternoon.
Som brase på télépéu, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
FC Edmonton, one of the top goal-scoring records in the division against one of the top defenses today in Atlanta. They've only let 5 goals in. On the flip side, the Eddies, they've been struggling letting goals in, so that will be the one thing they'll want to avoid this afternoon. Colin Miller putting out an experienced lineup in this match this afternoon. Today's game presented by Hub International today from Clarke Stadium. And we will bring you now the A&W Junior Eddies for today's coin toss. Albert Watson, the skipper for the Eddies, and hoping to lift his team again today. Fans still arriving at the game. Many here for that exciting matchup in midweek. A big crowd here, and the Eddies hoping some of those come back to experience an FC Edmonton Sunday afternoon game today against Atlanta, a game that both teams will feel like they need to win at this point in the season, both with only 1 league victory so far. But Atlanta, they've only lost 1. They've drawn 5 of their games. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups. And for FC Edmonton, John Smits, that's the big change today, back in goal for the Eddies, and the back 4 in front of him: Edward, Zeeby, Roberts and Watson. Rodales and Jones in the middle of midfield, Lang on the left, Niasi on the right, and Fordyce up alongside Tomi Amiobi, who's riding a 7-game goal-scoring streak for the Eddies at the moment. Lineups brought to you by Waterloo Ford Lincoln today, and for the Atlanta Silverbacks, Stuart Sues in goal, Roshawn McKenzie, Paul Black, Simon Mensing and Kyle Miller, the back 4, Michael Reed, Jonathan Okafor, and then Dominic Apong just in front of the defense, that holding midfield role we know him so well for from FC Edmonton. Kyle Porter as well, up against his old club, and he'll be in a front 3 with Hans Dennison and Matt Horth. And between them, Apong and Porter played 84 games for FC Edmonton, so they'll know all about the Eddies team this afternoon, and that one adds an extra bit of spice to it because both players coming back hoping to put one over on their old club.
Yeah, Kyle is one of the all-time leading scorers in FC Edmonton history, so you know, it's a big event for him. And the funny thing was, Dominic and Kyle before the game were exchanging pleasantries with a lot of FC Edmonton staff, with us. But the funny thing is, I don't think they would know a lot of the other players on the FC Edmonton side. Most of those players have been changed over since the days that Dominic and Kyle played for FC Edmonton. So the familiarities with the city and with the staff.
And the weather report brought to you by AMA Rewards. Beautiful day in Alberta's capital today. 26 degrees. That's around about 80 in Fahrenheit if you're watching us in the US, and just a slight summer breeze. Gorgeous weather out there. Will be hot conditions on the pitch for the players, no question about that.
Yeah, the artificial surface usually raises it a few degrees. So if it's 26, the temperature outside, it might be around 30, a little bit over 30 on the pitch.
Atlanta getting us underway, kicking from left to right in jerseys that look a little bit like the World Cup winning Germany team. And with an early chance for Okafor, is going to drive a shot, and he's driven that one over the top and into the concessions behind the goal of John Smits. So Smits gets an early touch of the ball and rolls it out to the left back position, and Zeeby, who seems to have earned himself a regular starting place for FC Edmonton.
Start of the game very, very important for Edmonton. 4 times this year they've conceded in the first 90 seconds. And on Wednesday against Vancouver, they conceded at the 8-minute mark. So starts to games have been very, very poor for the Eddies this year, and it's been a big part of their poor defensive record.
Smits getting another touch of the ball, and out from the back he finds Watson. Watson onto his right foot, the Eddies' number 5. He's played one down the channel. Fordyce is chasing on to the end of that one, but he's shepherded well by Simon Mensing, and that will be an early Eddies throw, and it's taken quickly, and Niasi's going to break down the right wing with the ball, and in fact in the end just miscontrols it and concedes the throw that's gone to Atlanta.
And obviously Atlanta's going to start their cup journey soon in the U.S. Open Cup, just as Edmonton has just wrapped up theirs. So, you know, in the weeks to come too, Atlanta and some of the other NASL teams.
Amiobi trying to put some pressure on the goalkeeper for Atlanta, but the flag was up, and that is going to be an offside decision. Let's take a look at those goalie matchups out there today. In the North American Soccer League, Stuart Suze and John Smits back in between the sticks for the Eddies.
John Smits, the reigning Gold Gloves champion. He hasn't played this year, but was on loan to the Montreal Impact and was their backup during their run in the CONCACAF Champions League, and a goalie that's really well known to people around NASL, and got his first career win a couple of years ago against Atlanta, so he's had good success against Atlanta in his career.
Amiobi's fine, just a clash with Suze that results in a bit of a limp, and he runs it off, shrugs it off back to the halfway line as the keeper gets things back underway. And a drop in that right midfield area for Rodales, who plays one forward. It's on the chest of Dennison, and in the midfield for Atlanta. And that's a bit of a late tackle by Lang, and it's on Kyle Miller, and the referee's awarded a free kick to Atlanta.
A hip check there by Lang coming across Miller. No doubt about the foul call.
Lang getting a bit of a lecture for it from one of Miller's teammates there. Jonathan Okafor took exception to that tackle, and the free kick has put Atlanta on the front foot, and this is a good position, and the Eddies have had some problems defending these, especially early in games. It's going to be Paul Black standing over the ball alongside Dennison, and it's the defender who curls it over to the far post, and that's a great double save by John Smits from the header that looked to be going to the far corner, but Smits got down and made 2 excellent stops.
I think that, does he get a hand to it and then the post, and then he just absolutely robs Roshan McKenzie on the second look. You know, he gets a hand to it. That's an outstanding double save by John Smits. And, you know, Colin Miller talked at the start that if John Smits goes on a run, he could keep his job. Well, that's a pretty big audition right there by the big man.
Good start to the match for Smits, and one headed away from the danger zone by Milan Roberts in that central defensive area. In comes another cross from the left, and once again Smits shows a good clean pair of hands as he catches that one easily, takes the pressure off his defense and just rolls it out for Zeeby. Zeeby's got Lang ahead of him. Lang tried to play it into Fordyce, but has lost possession to Michael Reed. And now Kyle Miller. Miller chipping one forward. Nicely played down back into the middle for Reed. Good little bit of possession from Atlanta here. Here's Kyle Porter. We know all about him in Edmonton, and he's played the pass out to the left wing. Black tries another cross. Good passing movement from Atlanta, but stifled there by the Eddies at the end.
But again, another very poor start to the game by FC Edmonton. And we've seen this before where it's ended up in the back of the net. And again, not as just a poor start, but a very similar situation to the 96th minute goal that the Whitecaps won the game on. Very similar free kick, scramble in the box, no one can get rid of it. But this time, John Smits, 2 huge saves.
And also beginning as well with Lang conceding a needless free kick in not a dangerous position that put his team under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all of those things combining, and Atlanta's got to be thinking, how are we not up 1-0 right now?
Great double save, the highlight of the first 5 minutes, and it's still goalless at Clarke Stadium. It's with Okafor, who tries to play the ball back for Kyle Miller, but in fact it's a throw-in, and Lang takes it quickly, and it's a good quick throw down the line. Amiobi's on the end of it. He's tackled well. He's robbed of possession just as he tried to hold up play there, and Atlanta moved the ball quickly to the halfway mark, and it's Matt Orth plays it back in the midfield for Apong, who keeps it ticking over and plays it to that left wing, and Paul Black, the fullback who likes to get forward and who's got good left foot on him, good crosses, good set piece man. With Apong again, he just chips this one up to the edge of the box. Watson heads this one away. Fordyce battling for it. It's taken away from him by Reed, and Apong again out to the left-hand side to Black. Good sliding tackle by Eddie Edward, who was onto him very quickly and has won possession back for the Eddies.
Well, Atlanta with so much of the ball. The ball's being turned over in midfield. Atlanta just winning the ball again and turning it back against the Eddies. Eddies really struggling to get the ball out of their own end right now. Fullback struggling to get the ball to the midfield to relieve this pressure. Atlanta really coming on. They know, I'm sure they've seen the book. Gary Smith has seen the book. He knows about FC Edmonton's slow starts to games, and they've really put the pressure on in the first 6 minutes here.
Some good possession play by Atlanta. FC Edmonton will be pleased at the moment to be level at 0-0, particularly after those saves by John Smith. Right-hand side of the pitch now, though, for Niassi, trying to get something going, and he's won a free kick for the Eddies. This is not a bad position either for FC Edmonton.
And going back to that double save, I think it was Mensing who came up on that first header, and then I think it was McKenzie on that rebound where Smith's diving was able to shut the door.
That will have impressed his coach, Colin Miller. Good early start for Smits, putting his authority and taking a bit of pressure off his defense with a good catch moments after that as well. Free kick here, Rodales is over the ball. The Eddies number 7, Watson is forward for it. And he's just shuffled it short to Lang. Lang's going to chip it forward to the edge of the box. That one didn't really work, headed away by Dominic Apong, and Lang plays it all the way back for John Smits. Smits is looking towards the height of Amiobi, but he's overhit that goal kick. Drops in the midfield again for Atlanta, who've been dominating the early stages and are moving the ball well. And there's Porter again, linking up well with Black. And Mensing, who went so close moments ago. Bong finds a nice pass to the right wing, and he's found Miller in a lot of space. Miller's ball down that right-hand side is being watched by Zeeby. Zeeby does well defensively and finds Rodales. Rodales forward to Fordyce. Couldn't make much of that one. It's with Porter. Porter drifting out to the left-hand side. He finds Black. Porter and Apong back to Black. Sneaking in there to win it back is Niassi for FC Edmonton. But again, just not happening at the moment. Just looks like he tried to lift that one over the top, perhaps speculatively looking for Amiobi or Lang, but at the minute, it is all Atlanta in possession. Mensing chipping one over the top, and Porter's got on the wrong side of Edward. Edward getting a touch on that one, but it's a crossing opportunity for Porter, away by the Eddies. Jones helping it on. Lang trying to play it down that right-hand side, perhaps feeling like Niassi should have been further in front, but it's gone out for a throw-in.
Just a lot of panicked hits right now by the Eddies. We wouldn't even call it possession. It seems when they get the ball at their feet, they're just whacking the ball down the field and just hoping for something to happen. And Atlanta's just taking those opportunities and turning it around and putting pressure, especially down the wings. Kyle Porter there, effective getting down that left side, challenging Eddie Edward and trying to get balls to the middle. You know, you have two very, very motivated players there. And I know I spoke to Dominic Pong before the game, and he said, you know, there's a little bit more riding on this game today. And he said, of course there will be, with coming back to playing your old team. So 37
appearances for Pong and 47 for Porter. Got 12 goals in in those 47 as well for FC Edmonton. There's Fordyce, finds Lang. Lang trying to help it on towards Amiobi, and looking as well perhaps for the free kick. The referee saw nothing wrong with it. Play goes on. Lang just made the pass, and perhaps a bit of a clumsy tackle. Not enough to persuade the referee to award any kind of free kick there. Well, Miller's miscontrolled that one poorly, and it's going to be a throw-in for FC Edmonton. Zeeby, this young Edmonton lad who's grabbed a place in the left-back position. Got a lot of promise. Okafor taking it away from him on that occasion, though. It's flicked on by Horth, and Roberts is adjudged to have tackled him late, and the free kick is with Atlanta.
Yeah, you were saying, Gareth, with Zeeby. Now Milan Roberts has 2 of the 4 on the back line who are products of the Edmonton Academy, of FC Edmonton's youth system, that have come up and promoted into the senior team, and that speaks a lot to the work that Jeff Paulus, Paul Kelly, and his group have done with the youngsters.
Okafor on the right-hand side, looking to get around Zeeby this time. Zeeby marking him very tightly. Okafor likes to try and pull a trick there. He's kept position well, and we're now with Miller. Forced back all the way to Reed. And in the end, the pass that's forward by McKenzie has gone astray. It's going to be an FC Edmonton throw-in. Good long throw by Zeeby down the line. Fordyce gets a flick on it. Headed away again by Roberts. Daryl Fordyce left-footed over the top. Amiobi's chasing it. A little bit too much hit and hope at the moment by FC Edmonton, just not able to hold on to the ball in there.
Absolutely, just talking about it, it's panicked right now. It seems when they get the ball, they're just lumping it into a place and hoping something good happens. And it's just presenting the ball back to Atlanta.
There's Porter in possession on the left wing. Edward just jockeying in there. Porter managed to get the pass away in the end with a cheeky little flick, but it's dispossessed by Niassi. It's a throw-in for Atlanta. Porter tackled there. Fordyce helping out as well, but he's got a free kick right on the edge of the box. There were 2 of 3 players snapping at him there. The home crowd doesn't like it, but this is another free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. Edward just coming in from behind there, then Fordyce. I think that's where he got the trip.
This is one that's right on the corner, and I've said this before, one thing I'd love to see in the game of soccer introduced. When you're right at the top of the box, sometimes you'd rather move the ball back 5 yards and have a bit of a better angle at goal. And I think teams should be allowed to do that, to move the ball back on a free kick like this. You're not moving it forward, it's okay. I think they should be allowed to move it back.
Black runs over it, Reed curls it to the far post. It's defended well this time by the Eddies. No break on for Lang. He was charged down well by Kyle Porter, tracking back defensively for his team there. Brings the ball from defense, and that's not a good pass. Zeeby had made the run down the left, but Roberts acknowledges that he didn't really make an accurate play there and concedes the ball back to Atlanta, and we've seen quite a bit of that. A lot of misplaced passes in the first 15 minutes by Edmonton.
Just to give you an idea how hot it is out there on the pitch. Kyle Porter and a couple of the other Atlanta players have seen when there's some breaks in play, they've been running over the bench and just getting water whenever they can.
Zeeby's throw down the line, headed away again. Jones trying to win it back. Rodala's playing the ball back to Smits. Well, Smits some pressure on him. Colin Miller showing his frustration from the bench there with the way the Eddies were moving the ball defensively, putting their own goalkeeper under a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, they left it to the point where John Smits had very little choice but to thump that into touch. He had 2 Atlanta players on him, and not a lot of players moving to give him a short ball, to give him an easy option.
Atlanta just look like they're winning the 50-50 challenges at the moment, moving the ball a little bit quicker and in possession much more as a result. Good flick on by Porter from his goalkeeper's clearance.
We talked about off the top of the show the hangover from Wednesday, if we'd see that, and I'm wondering if that's indeed what we're seeing right now, Gareth. Just a team that I think is struggling a bit to find some focus.
Maybe just a touch off the pace. Colin Miller talked about the tired legs in the pre-game show, just that he was going to give the lads a couple of days off towards the end of the week, but was hoping for a big effort today. So far, just a bit off the pace. Atlanta dominating, but the score, importantly, remaining 0-0. Porter, edge of the area, running on the edge of the box. Jones just getting enough of a touch to prevent the shot, but Apong will get a second bite of the cherry to play out to the left wing. It might drop from the Assy here. Crowd sensing that perhaps this could be the chance for them to put some passes together. Nice cross-field ball for Lang. Lang's going to deliver a ball into the box, and he's just shown a bit too much of it to the goalkeeper, and Suze claims it very easily. Counter-attack at the other end, with Eddies having men committed forward, and a chance here, and point-blank range again. Smits makes an outstanding save to deny Matt Horth. Excellent stop from John Smits.
Well, we know right now who the man of the match is for either team right now, 17 minutes into the game. I mean, things might change, but John Smits, massive save coming off his line, taking away the angle from Matt Horth, and just making himself big. Outstanding stuff from John Smits.
Little bit of a cause for concern, I think, for Colin Miller, though, the way he was able to run through the middle there and get a clean shot at goal.
Oh, this first 20 minutes, Colin Miller is going to just be, how shall I say it right now, the halftime team talk will not be a pleasant place to be.
Well, that's 3 clear-cut chances where Smits has made very fine saves to keep his team in this match at 0-0. They've got possession now, and here is Lang. Got a little bit of space to operate in. Looks for the through ball over the top for Niassi, but again, maybe just a little bit too forced, and that ball is out of play, and it's a goal kick.
Right now, Atlanta's got to be thinking we're good to be up 2-0 in this game, and honestly, they are good enough to be up 2-0 in this game, based on the chances they've created, based on their dominance in possession, based on their dominance of territorial play. But John Smits has been the difference today.
Free kick given against Eddie Edward there. Referee, I think, saw a push from the number 7, Jonathan Okafor. And that's a free kick for Atlanta again. Atlanta just able to move the ball around easily there. Cross coming in from the left-hand side, but a goal kick given to Smits.
You know, we talk about how busy John Smits has been, but other than maybe picking up a couple of pass backs, Stuart Zeus has done really nothing. He could go and get a hot dog or something like that, go to the food truck. He's really had very, very little to do.
Most of the play in the Eddies half, that's for sure, in the first 20 minutes of the match. They are in Atlanta territory now, though, with Fordyce. Fordyce Forcing the ball forward again, it ricochets back to him, and it's with Rodales. Rodales is trying to switch play to the left-hand side, but that's been well anticipated and intercepted by Kyle Miller. Pong's had a lot of the ball against his old club, and orchestrating things from that holding midfield role. Hasn't given the ball away at all. Okafor making a break down the left wing. Edward tackling him. Corner kick for Atlanta.
Again, we shouldn't act very surprised. I know John Smith hasn't played this year, but this is the player who won the Golden Gloves last year, and he's showing why in the first 20 minutes of this game today. So really just a return back to form that we've seen from John Smith's last season.
Dennison with the corner kick. Every blue shirt back in the box. Goal to our right. Sweeps it into the near post. Headed away by Amiobi. Jones trying to win the ball back. They'll play it all the way back to Suze. Just for safety reasons there, Atlanta. Roberts challenging with Horth. That could be a real tussle this afternoon. Fordyce in between two Atlanta players, wins the ball and a free kick for his team. Last Sunday getting a brace here, Fordyce, and ending up on the losing team, and that was the end of the 11-game unbeaten home streak that the Eddies had going. Hoping to get back to winning ways this afternoon. 0-0 so far, but struggling a little bit out there so far, Edmonton. Pong playing a long ball forward this time, headed back by Watson on the chest of Edward. Edwards found Roberts in the middle there, and now Zeeby with Richie Jones. Jones linking up nicely there with Lang. Referee doesn't see any free kick as Lang goes down. It's with Niasse on the right. Early cross up to the far post to chase on to get to the ball. And a free kick given against Lance Lang.
Lang had moved in centrally to help out there, to help out Richie Jones, to give him an option. And then when Niasse hits the long far post cross, Lang isn't there at the left wing side and has to chase that play down.
FC Edmonton still don't know whether Lang will be joining up with the Jamaican team or not.
Yeah, they haven't heard back. He's on the 30-man roster, and it will be a big loss for the Eddies, but a great achievement for Lance to play for Jamaica at the upcoming Copa America. They're a guest team in a group with Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. So, you know, playing against the likes of Sergio Aguero and Lionel Messi, what a tournament that could be for Lance Lang. And then he would go to the Gold Cup with Mexico as well, and miss a bunch of games in July. So great for the Eddies, but no, not so great for the Eddies, but great for Lance Lang.
And you can see all the players here taking in some fluids while there's a stoppage because of the injury to Eddie Edward, and it is very warm out there, and most of all of the players came by the benches there to get a drink in after 23 minutes of action on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think Atlanta's is more of a drink session, and I think at Edmonton it's more of an organization session. Colin Miller having a lot more words with his team than we saw Gary Smith having with his club. They're still gathered around their coach, looking for direction, organization. Talking about center backs there, I'm sure he was very concerned about Matt Horth getting in alone there, getting behind both of them and getting that clear-in chance that John Smith just did so well to save.
Play restarts. It's with Mackenzie here, still 0-0 at Clarke Stadium. We're approaching the 25-minute mark. And Edwards just has gone off the pitch there to continue with his treatment. So momentarily, Edmonton down to 10 men.
And obviously in hot conditions like this, you have to worry about cramps and muscle spasms, things like that just come up and get you.
And what's happened is Rodales has dropped in to play right back, and Fordyce has dropped into the midfield, and Amiobi's by himself now up front. Good little 1-2 there by Atlanta, and then turn around the corner, but away by Lance Lang. Fordyce is trying to chase it down. It's played by Miller, infield to Porter. Good header away by Rodales from that raking pass by Mensing. He's got the ball back on his right foot again, just pushes it alongside him to McKenzie. Black's got space on the left wing. Hong's just found a hole of space there to get possession. Now Dennison looks for the 1-2 with Horth, and he'll get the ball back on the edge of the area. Dennison curls one just over the angle. Again, some definitely alarm bells ringing back there, but Dennison not able to take advantage.
Yeah, two defenders, one with Okafor in that give and go, and then when he dropped it back, Dennison, he had a lot of space to set himself up, and he tried to chip for the top corner there. But again, Atlanta allowed a lot of possession, time on the ball, and another good look at goal. It's been one-way traffic there. One-way traffic.
Definitely is. Atlanta with all the possession. In this match, they've got another free kick here. I wonder if this has been their pattern of play. They don't lose very often. They've only lost one, but they've actually only scored 5 goals, which is not very much.
Statistically, they look like FC Edmonton in previous seasons, with a lot of draws and not a lot of goals for. This year, obviously, FC Edmonton's thrown that form book out the window. With a lot of goals for, a lot of goals against.
Definitely been exciting to watch from a fan's perspective, the games here, but not from Colin Miller. We heard again in the pre-game show, too many comedies of errors back there is the way he put it, and that's what we've seen this season.
He loves goals for, but he doesn't. When you give up 15 in 6 games, that's just too many.
Yeah, just pick it up on your point about the statistical averages, Steve. They conceded far fewer last season, but here they've got a chance to score. Fordyce, edge of the area, and he warms the palms of Suze there, who makes the save. Made it look perhaps a little bit more spectacular than he needed to, but Fordyce at least getting a shot on target there.
Yeah, and that's just a nice little drop back here. Amiobi sees that Fordyce has got lots of space, doesn't wait, just tries it with the inside of his right foot, see if he can bend that in. Suze is a tall keeper, though, and getting that under the bar when it's at the keeper, it's a little bit tough. I agree with you. I wonder if even Suze could have caught that ball, but safety first, and Edmonton gets a corner.
Niasse takes the corner. It's gone very deep. Rodales just about keeping it in, but it was over everybody, that corner kick, and it's gone out for a throw-in for the Eddies.
You see from the keeper's perspective, and yeah, actually he did have to move quite a bit more than maybe I gave him credit for. Good save by Suze.
Especially considering his first bit of action in the game. He's been a relative spectator out there, called into action and dealt with it very well. Good play by the Atlanta keeper. With Niasse. Cross coming in from Edward, headed away by Mensing. It'll drop for Christian Rodales. Zeeby to his left. Now Lance Lang. Zeeby's made a forward run. Lang's able to capitalize on a slip by Miller. Keeps going to the left, and now he'll put a cross into the far post, and it actually clips the crossbar as it goes over the top. And as it got closer to the goal, you could tell Suze was a little concerned about it, and he may have just slightly injured himself there in backpedaling for the ball.
Yeah, he gets caught wrong-footed here. He comes back out, and it starts to go like a screwball. It comes out like an outswinger and then starts coming back towards the goal, and Suze got caught, but the ball hits the top of the bar, stays out. But now Edmonton with at least a little bit of pressure, some warning signs that they can do some things.
Finally starting to get the ball out wide to Lang and to Niasse, both of them having some impact on the game. We're actually going to see a substitution here, though. That injury to Eddie Edward obviously means he cannot continue the rest of the game, so he's being replaced only 29 minutes in, and he's going to be replaced by Kareem Moses.
And obviously we'll see some concern going forward with Eddie Edward. I know that he would just hate to miss Friday's game because they're going to Ottawa, and the last thing you want to do is miss a game in your hometown. You know, he always relishes the chance of going home to play the Ottawa Fury.
And ZB has moved over to the right back position, and Kareem Moses playing in his more accustomed left back role. So a forced change by Colin Miller. Edward off, replaced by Kareem Moses, who's actually got a different colored left boot than he has a right boot this afternoon. One pink and one blue. Is that...
I don't know if they're striped down the sides.
Yeah, it's just the middle that's different. Interesting multicolored boots from Kareem today.
Yeah, I think we could ask both coaches, old school coaches here, what they think about all the multicolored boots.
Dennison on the right-hand side tries to play one through the middle. ZB will watch that one back to Smits. And here's Moses getting his first touch of the ball.
I guess I shouldn't talk. My soccer boots aren't black here.
It's hard to buy black boots anymore, Steve.
They're bright blue.
Yeah. Tackle there by Moses from behind. Amiobi trying to make something of it, and Sue's getting the clearance away from the danger zone and not appreciating the bump from Amiobi, but he really had to go for that ball.
Yeah, I think it's two players going for the ball there, nothing really too much in it.
Oh, nicely on the chest by Amiobi. Picks out Lang. He's got support from Moses just behind him. Great turn by Kareem Moses there, and pushing on forward to Amiobi. Didn't quite work out, but good little turn to take on Kyle Porter there. That's what happened, is Amiobi going for the ball and just his momentum taking him into the goal.
And it needs to be noted that with Eddie Edwards' injury and coming out of the game, Kareem Moses has gone over to left back, which is where he's more comfortable playing, and Alan Zeeby has switched over to the right side. So it's not just a like for like, there's a multiplayer swap involved there with Eddie Edwards having to come out of the game.
ZB wearing number 2 takes that throw in, finds Jones. Rodales with space in the midfield. Lang just about keeps the ball in play. It's taken away from him by Porter. Headed forward by Roberts.
You know, at the start of the game, we saw Kyle Porter playing a lot on the left side, and now he's out more on the right side. And, you know, in FC Edmonton days, we are far more accustomed to seeing him on the right wing or on the right side in the attack.
Tackled well there by Lang.
And Okafor was out on the right, now he's out on the left. So a little bit of switching here by Gary Smith.
ZB is the one challenging Okafor, tackles in and gets the ball as well. That's possession for FC Edmonton.
It's a big size difference between Alan Zeeby and Okafor. About the hangover from the Whitecaps game on Wednesday, and it's one thing when you give up a 96th minute goal to knock you out of the cup once, but Edmonton's done it 2 years in a row, Gareth, and it really has to grind on you where you feel like, are we cursed or something like that, where that's happened 2 years in a row at the semifinal stage where a 96th minute goal. And I actually worked that out with the U of A math professor on Thursday and Friday. The odds of that happening are about 1.14 million to 1. I mean, we worked it out with some numbers we plugged in, but that's roughly what we thought the odds of what happened to Edmonton the last 2 years in the Cup. So we talk about that emotional hangover. Those are the kind of things that have happened to the Eddies. Those kind of odds have worked against them.
Pretty long odds, 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah, well, if someone was to give you that number, you know, if you would have put the money like dollar down 2 years ago, not that I think anyone would have been crazy enough to give you that number, but still, maybe 200,000 or something like that.
10 minutes to half-time, still no goals at Clarke Stadium today. ZB challenged by Porter. Porter has got possession there. ZB still snapping at his heels, trying to win it back for the Eddies. He's got support from Black on the left-hand side. There's the cutback. And that will drop for Lang. Lang moves the ball quickly to Fordyce. Jones takes over. Fordyce is being pulled from behind there. And that is going to be the first card of the match. It's a cynical foul, and the yellow card has been awarded to Michael Reed.
Yeah, he had a good tug on Daryl Fordyce's arm and wasn't letting go. Had him in the arm bar. So that's it. You're not moving any further than that. Not going to lead the break. You can see there, it's full on. It's got him.
Knew exactly what he was doing, broke up the play. It did look like a promising counter-attack. It's now a free kick, and Reed is going to have to walk a bit of a tightrope with the yellow card. Former Minnesota United player, he's now pressuring Lang to win the ball back. Lang's taken out of possession there. He feels like he should have had a free kick. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with it, and it's with Okafor. Bounces off the challenge by Rodales and gets the pass away. He's got possession back now. Tackle from behind by Fordyce. Referee found that to be a clean sliding tackle, and a good one too by Daryl Fordyce. Watson's looking for the long-range pass, and that's happened on many occasions in this first half where it's been under hit and they've been giving possession back to Atlanta.
I really haven't seen the work of our referee before, Francis Latulippe, but it looks like the kind of referee that likes to let a lot of things go. Lets the players play. So he gave it the one card for the arm pull, but a lot of tackles. He's saying that's a fair challenge. Get up, let's get on with it. As long as that's consistent, you're happy with it.
Well in for FC Edmonton as the ball goes out of play.
And this is also a big game for Edmonton because this is it for their home season. If you're not aware, because the Women's World Cup is coming to Canada, the venues have got to be cleared out by next weekend. So that's why Ottawa's playing Friday. And in preparation, because some of them are being used for practice venues. Next door, Women's World Cup's happening at Commonwealth Stadium. So FC Edmonton has to be out of here until July. And so it's the reason they're finished the spring season now. Also, a reason why the season was split the way it was again this year. A lot of people have asked why the NASL went with that 10-game, 20-game spring-fall split. But the reason was is Ottawa and Edmonton don't have places to play throughout most of the month of June and into early July because of the Women's World Cup, and it gave NASL very little choice but to separate the season the same way they did the year before.
Next game for the Eddies at home, July 5th. San Antonio Scorpions, Sunday at 2 p.m. and that is the game in Fort McMurray.
Yeah, that's not here at Clarke. They're not going to play at Clarke. They go to Atlanta at the end of July.
Okafor, edge of the penalty area, trying to get it onto his left foot. Threads one through to Black. Black with the ball back. One back by Jones. Liassi crosses the halfway mark. Got support from Lang on the left. Lang will shoot from long range and isn't too far away. I think the goalkeeper had it covered, but Lang tried his luck from 25 yards.
Jesus had a good jump on that. I think he would have been over had that been to the inside of the post. Would have been able to gather that in. And here we have a look from the keeper's angle. Yeah, it's quite a bit wide, but you can see how far over to the post he was. He would have had that covered. But still, gotta try those efforts. Try to make Atlanta push up on your players. So maybe you create some space down the wings or a ball to slide through. You don't want the Atlanta defenders sitting back and cutting all that space off. You've got to keep trying shots.
Amiobi causing a menace on the edge of the penalty area. And he's won himself a free kick right on the edge of the box. And that just comes from sheer persistence and effort, chasing down every ball. And in the end, he just gets bundled over there. And this is a decent position for someone like Lance Lang.
Yeah, it's from the back. I think Mensing was saying that's shoulder to shoulder. That's fine, but I think the referee would say, no, you came from behind. You weren't side to side with Amiobi in that case. So that's the free kick here, and I think this is Lance Lang all the way. He's standing over the ball. Doesn't matter which side. He's going to try to curl this with the left foot. And we've seen him score in these positions before, more than once.
Specialist from the dead ball situation with the left peg. And he's standing over the ball with Rodales, but even Rodales looks like he's just going to leave it completely to Lang. Very dangerous left foot from these kinds of positions.
There's no point in FC Edmonton even trying to deceive anyone. Everybody in the park knows who's taking it. Use the extra player somewhere where he can be useful in the penalty area. I don't not necessarily love any of these decoy plays that teams try. Just taking away a player who could be somewhere else useful on the pitch. Everyone knows Lang's taking it. Just go have him take it.
Lang strikes it beautifully, and he's found the corner again. Lance Lang gives FC Edmonton the lead. It's a cracker. It's 1-0.
And I just said everyone knows Lance Lang is going to shoot. Why bother? And Lance Lang with yet another free kick goal labeled into the corner. This time low and away from Seuss. But just power that time. I don't think it was that much better. I think he just hammers this with power. And just right inside the far post. Seuss really has very little chance. Lang not going for the bend that time. We've seen him bend it back towards the near post. This time he goes far post and just hammers it. Puts his foot right through it.
Very nice strike from Lance Lang. 41st minute. FC Edmonton in the lead. 1-0. As we approach half-time, and you don't see many better ones than that. Struck very sweetly indeed. His third goal of the season.
And Lance Lang gets a yellow here after scoring the goal, and he gets it for going up into the crowd, doing a bit of a leap into the crowd, and the referee doesn't like that. I mean, I understand it's the letter of the law. I really don't like the idea of penalizing a guy for celebrating with the home fans like that. He hasn't taken his shirt off or anything like that, though.
Here's Amiobi inside the penalty area, right-footed strike, one-on-one, and Seuss this time makes the stop. And all of a sudden, floodgates opening up for FC Edmonton, and Amiobi with a chance to make it 8 games in a row.
Yeah, and that was just Atlanta's gone to sleep here, and then Edmonton feeling the momentum after the goal. All of a sudden, the space is opening up. Amiobi finds that space in the right channel, has a clean look. Seuss with a very good save. The keeper's been very good today. I don't think Seuss could have done much on that free kick goal, but as a whole, on both sides, I think the keepers have done well.
Moses chasing that and making sure that it doesn't go out of touch, and plays the ball back to Smits, who gets clear of it. That does seem to be quite a harsh yellow card.
I was going to get back to it, Gareth. And we're going to look here first at Amiobi. Tries to strike it. Seuss gets down, gets big.
Not a great angle.
Not a great angle. Need probably to go upstairs if he was going to get anything on that. But going back to your point, Gareth, you know, he doesn't take his shirt off. He's not running around the field. He's just trying to enjoy the game with some fans who pay to come out. And I think, you know, at the professional level, when fans have paid money to see their team play, and a player wants to celebrate the goals with the fans in that way. I mean, my God, Gareth, every player in every European game would be carded for celebrating after a goal, because that's what they do almost every game, go to the corner and see the supporters. So
yeah, and not a particularly over-the-top celebration either.
Absolutely not. I just think I don't understand why he would get a card for something that I think is fairly commonplace in terms of celebrating. Let the fans enjoy the game. You know, you're penalizing the fans as much as you're penalizing the player.
Another chance for FC Edmonton after that foul on Amiobi, who again has been a handful, and he won the earlier free kick. It should be noted that led to Lang's terrific free kick goal, and it's either Lang or Fordyce, possibly Rodales from here, maybe for a slightly different angle, might favor the right-footed player, Daryl Fordyce. He is going to take it, he's going to bend it. This time he hits it straight into the wall. Amiobi will chase this down, and it is going to be a corner kick for FC Edmonton, and we will have 1 minute of time added on, so there's plenty of time for the corner to take place.
I understand it's a bit of a better angle for the right-footed Fordyce, but Lance Lang has just hammered a free kick into the goal. I would just be doing exactly what they did in the last free kick, not putting 3 players over the ball, just saying, Lance, you're feeling it, have another go.
Lance instead will take the corner kick. Left-footed Lang to the far post, and that one just fizzles out. It's going to go behind. It'll be a goal kick for Atlanta, who found themselves 1 goal down, approaching half-time, and they've had a lot of the play. But at the end, the most important statistic is the scoreline, and the only goal came from the left boot of Lance Lang after some outstanding goalkeeping prior to that by John Smits for the Eddies. And that's the half-time whistle, and a pretty good comeback for FC Edmonton. 1-0 up at half-time. Lang with the only goal of the game. As John Smits made that terrific double save in the early stages, that sent the Eddies on their way. Suze at the other end, beaten by Lance Lang from the free kick. That gives FC Edmonton the lead. Lang still not sure if he's going to make that Jamaican squad. He's in the 30-man squad, and FC Edmonton still waiting to hear whether he will join up with the team. We're going to be joined at pitch side by Gary Smith, the Atlanta coach. Gary, thank you for your time. Just tell us about the first half, your analysis from your team, please.
Well, in terms of a game plan, we started off very brightly. I thought we got ourselves in a comfortable position, some good possession, and in fact made the better chances. And you know, it's been the story of late for us. 2 excellent opportunities that we haven't converted, which we all know can give you a big confidence boost and a bit of breathing space. But I'm very, very pleased with the way the guys have performed, and it's taken an excellent strike, which from my point of view was avoidable with a free kick, but nevertheless a wonderful strike to take Edmonton in front.
What do you say to the players at half-time after having so much of the ball and ending up behind?
Well, it's a difficult one. You know, in the last couple of weeks we've had numerous opportunities to either put the game to bed or to get ourselves in front and give ourselves a nice platform, and it's not quite coming. So, you know, this is about development. It's about the team improving all the time. I can see some great signs within the shape of the group, and some are even the individual performances. I think more of the same. You know, we're getting into some nice positive areas. It really is that final piece of the puzzle that can sometimes be elusive, and we know what forwards are like. They get warm and they get on a nice run of form, but at the moment we need someone to really step forward.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gary Smith joining us, the coach for Atlanta. Pleased with the way his team's played, not pleased with the way they finished that first half, felt that the free kick was poorly given away, and then of course paying tribute to Lang's excellent strike, beating the goalkeeper. Let's hear from the Eddies coach, Steve.
Yeah, we have Coach Colin Miller here, and Colin, maybe a little bit of a tale of 2 halves within the half. You have to be really happy with how you finished the first half, but not happy how you started it.
Yeah, you've summed it up quite well, Steve. I thought we started a wee bit tentatively. Probably some heavy legs, of course, from Wednesday night and against the Whitecaps, you know, so I expected that, to be honest with you. I'm just glad that John Smits played as well as he did. He made some very good saves to keep us in the game. But as the half's gone on, some of our passing has got that little bit better, and we were just giving it away far too easy. With the last little part there, when Richie Jones, Christian, when they start to put their foot on it a little bit more and show some quality in possession, we've caused them some problems. We just have to tighten up 1 or 2 things defensively. They're a big, strong side. They'll cause any team in this league problems for sure. And again, we'll have to be at our very best in the second half. But I just think that if we can be better in possession, we've always got the pace. It's a fantastic free kick, isn't it? I mean, I saw the big fella scoring about half a dozen of them yesterday in training, so it's not a surprise that he does it. Lange, so well done to that. But we, generally speaking, as a team, we were poor in the first part of the game, but the second part of the first half, we were a little bit better.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Colin Miller, very pleased to see Lance Lang hitting the target from another free kick. And that's the only goal of the first half. The Lance Lang goal separating the teams, the Eddies, with a 1-0 lead over Atlanta. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium and our halftime show presented by Oodle Noodle. FC Edmonton with a 1-0 advantage at halftime, and the home fans basking in the sun. Beautiful weather in Alberta's capital today. Lance Lang's the only goal of the game. Let's look back at the highlights from the first half. Well, Colin Miller mentioned his team were a little sluggish, to say the least, and there were some good early chances. Look at this double save by John Smith.
Mensing and then McKenzie, the two center backs, both getting up for the free kick, and John Smith's denying two chances.
Dennison making a run through the middle. Beautiful shot. He taps it through there, and you'd think Horth is going to score. And once again, Smith's almost going the wrong way, but still makes an excellent save.
Yeah, he sort of leans back and gets that with his back shoulder, but does for coming off the goal line and being huge. And you know what else? He doesn't spill the ball. It just sticks with him after making that chance.
The other end, Amiobi winning a free kick. Gary Smith feeling like that was poor defending from his team. And from that resulting strike, just look at this. Not very much the goalie can do about that.
No, and that wasn't a bender. That was all just about whacking that into the far corner as hard as you can. And Sus just can't get over there in time. And Lang, another perfect free kick. A couple of weeks ago, we saw one that was just unstoppable. And that's every time he steps to the ball, you just feel something's going to happen.
FC Edmonton with a 1-0 lead at halftime. The second half is coming up after the break. We are set for the second half at Clarke Stadium. All set for kickoff. FC Edmonton attacking the goal to our right. All in blue, and Atlanta all in white. The Eddies want to get us underway with Richie Jones and Tomi Amiobi for the kickoff. Shuffled out to the left wing, and Lance Lang straight away. Lang's forward ball will drop to Kyle Porter. Watson drives that one back up the right channel. And it's going to be a throw in for FC Edmonton.
Both teams have come out with unchanged lineups. It goes back to what Gary Smith has said, other than the free kick goal, maybe a couple of lapses late in the half. He's got to feel pretty good about some of the things Atlanta was doing in the first half, creating some good chances and some very, very good saves by John Smith, creating and having a lot of possession. But Edmonton came into the game late in the first half and got the goal, created another chance or two. And
Sus will place the ball down. He'll take the free kick. Good header forward into the penalty area, and the free kick given against Kareem Moses for that challenge on Jonathan Okafor.
We'll see here who's going to stand over this. Would this be Dennison, who you think might be taking this one? Just a bit of a push in the back there.
Looks like several players fancy a crack from here. Dominic Opong is moving back from the ball, and Dennison is the man who's placed it. Black over it as well, perhaps favoring the left footer. And it's almost a carbon copy of the Lance Lang free kick angle. It's Dennison who goes for the corner and wasn't too far away. Smith scrambling down low to his left-hand post, obviously knew that that was pretty close.
Yeah, I think everyone has had a little skip of the heartbeat there off of this shot. And it is very close, started bending back, and I don't know if John Smits would have got there to that far post. Been very close, but again, if that would have hit the target, that would have been a fantastic free kick as well.
Rodales has lost possession to Okafor. Now a Pong. Tried to pick out Porter. The ball might drop for a throw-in for Kyle Porter. Lance Lang goal. That's another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House in Northern Alberta, cast courtesy of Pastor Pantry. Porter takes one on the chest, shuffles it off to the side, and it's a break forward by Reed. Pong has got an overlapping run on the right-hand side. It's Kyle Miller. Okafor goes down under the challenge. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with that. Fordyce trying to just feed Lance Lang there, but he's tackled. It's going to be a throw-in.
Colin Miller talked at the halftime about how big and physical Atlanta is, and that they present some real challenges physically for you. And really reminds me a bit of the Colorado Rapids when Gary Smith coached them to the MLS Cup championship. They had a lot of players who were big players, hard-working players. Guys are just a handful to play against.
Header away there by Milan Roberts. ZB will bring it down. Good control displayed by him. Still battling for the ball, and he's done well. It's with Jones. Jones just gets it out of his feet. He's going to try and shoot from long range. That's a bit of a waste. There were men forward there, but Jones went for glory. And at the other end, his team having to defend. Watson with a header away. That will drop for Apong. And Okafor just giving his fullback a bit too much to do to get to that ball. Throw in for the Eddies.
Yeah, he laid it off to the wing there, and there was nobody there. I mean, from the Jones break, defenders were slow coming back or to rejoin the attack for Atlanta there, and Okafor was looking for a fullback who was still 20 yards behind that play.
5 minutes into the second half, still 1-0 for FC Edmonton. The Lance Lang goal just 4 minutes before half-time, the difference between the teams. Very nice play by Amiobi, and look at the pass over the top into the path of Niasi. Niasi trying to come inside the fullback, and then goes the other side, and it takes a great defensive tackle by Kyle Porter, of all people, back there to bail out his team and get that ball away from the danger zone. Well played, Porter.
I wonder if that first shift of the ball from Niasi shouldn't have just let it fly with the left foot, but obviously I think he was looking to get it back onto his more comfortable right foot with that second move, and that allowed Kyle Porter to get in and come in with a late challenge, late tackle to take away that chance for the Eddies.
Fordyce on the right-hand side as he tackled from behind. Referee waves play on again, and Okafor is tackled by Milan Roberts. Just gets a trailing boot on it, pokes it away from him, and finds Lang. This pass by Roberts to pick out ZB on halfway. Amiobi with his back to goal. He's being clipped at from behind. He's working very hard for possession, and he's got his team a free kick. Takes it quickly, sends Niasi away down the right-hand side. Niasi Moves in field onto his left foot, shifts it back to the right. Trying to work the opening for the cross. Good defensive play by Black, and Porter again doing a good defensive job back there for Atlanta. Another Eddie's throw in. Zeeby's made a great break forward into the penalty area. In the end, gets tackled by Black, who gives his keeper a little bit of a stretch to get to that ball, and it's another Eddie's throw.
Eddie's able to get pressure on. I think it's important they do this early in the half, because it's going to be interesting as the half goes on. I know the Eddies always preach about their fitness levels, and other coaches talk about it as well, how good they are late in games, but this will be their third game in a week. Played last Sunday, played Wednesday, played Sunday again. You just wonder how long the legs will last.
Jones helping the ball out to the left wing, and Lang's going to deliver the cross first time. Amiobi heads it back across the face and goal, and Richie Jones scores with a header, and FC Edmonton have doubled their lead. 2-0.
Well, I just said they might need some insurance because to deal with the heavy legs, and they just got that insurance there. Amiobi hasn't extended his scoring streak, but what a header across goal to basically lay it on a platter for Richie Jones. Decides that that's the right play. Very intelligent play from Amiobi to lay that off. And Jones, an easy finish on the header.
Lovely cross by Lang to the far post. Great header back across the face, and Jones applies the finishing touch. Very well worked goal.
Yeah, Amiobi beats Mensing there, and what a perfect header. What a perfect header to lay off for Richie Jones.
Richie Jones has scored his 4th goal of the season there. He's been in amongst the goals in the early stages of this season, and that's another one with the head. Nicely crafted by Amiobi from Lang's cross. So Lang scoring 1 goal and having a big hand in the second, and putting another cross in there, and Jones really should have made it 3-0. Point blank range, an open goal. Lang puts it on his forehead, and for some reason he just miscued it.
I'm just not sure how Seuss doesn't handle that ball coming across. He looks like he's in a good angle to cut this thing off. And I just don't know why he didn't go up for the ball there. He's standing right next to Richie Jones. I don't know how he misreads that. And really, he would have had to have worn some of the goat horns there had Jones been able to keep that on target. Keeper in that position, you're standing right by the forward. You need to get your hands in the air and stop that cross.
Richie Jones could have had 2 goals in a matter of seconds. Point blank range. And he will wonder how that did not end up in the back of the net. Atlanta, the coach Gary Smith, he's seen enough. He's going to change things. He's going to bring on Shaka Bangura. We've seen him play here before, and he's a dangerous player. And Smith is going to look to shake things up here to try and get his team back in this one. That FC Edmonton goal by Richie Jones. Another meal for the families of the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pasta Pantry. Free kick there will be given against Darryl Fordyce. And it will be time for the substitution for Atlanta. That is going to be a swap. Dennison is going to come off, and on goes Bangura. Free kick for the Eddies. Fordyce playing it forward. That one's overhit. He won't get to that, even with Amiobi's pace, and the ball is with Seuss in goal.
You talk about the quality of the crossing from Lance Lang, and again, you hit that far post cross like he does. It's not just a question of creating a scoring chance, Gareth. It's a question of you put the defense on the back foot. You don't allow that ball to be cut out and a counter to be sprung against you, and again, it leads to another goal. And Lang's, again, so huge today for the Eddies.
They will really miss him if he does go off and play for Jamaica. That will be a huge loss for FC Edmonton. As much as they'll be pleased for him, from a personal point of view, it will leave a major hole down that left-hand side for this team.
It's not just them losing, it's the league. It's one of those players, and I mean, for the people that do follow all the teams fairly regularly, this is one of the guys you pay the money to see play. Lance Lang in this league.
Porter at the other end is tackled by Zeeby, goes up to win the header. Good play by Zeeby. Jones gets in the way of Bangura trying to make a shot, and the Eddies scrambling a little bit in defense there, but scrambling well. Fordyce going down under a tackle from Dominic Apong. Challenge that leaves Apong with a yellow card against his old club there.
Gets up. Just for the extra shove there, I think, following through on Fordyce. That's what he's getting the card for.
Apong and Reed both have a yellow in the midfield for Atlanta.
It's allowing Gary Smith to have a conversation with fourth official right now, and I think he just feels that maybe his guy got picked out. There's been a lot of challenges like that in the game. And I think we talked about it earlier that the referee was letting a lot of things go, and I think he's wondering, well, why now?
Smits from the free kick goes long, looking for Amiobi. Great header into the path of Niassi. Beautifully done. Niassi with the cutback. Jones is there again. Just this time the pass evaded him, but Amiobi with another clever header that resulted in another good situation attacking-wise for FC Edmonton. That's going to be safety first for Milan Roberts. Decides just to concede the throw-in as he's chasing back down that left-hand channel. Takes a bit of a breather. Good defensive play on his part. Bangura trying to get the cross in from that right-hand side, and definitely has added a little bit of fresh impetus to the Atlanta attack. He's won himself a corner kick.
Watson's positioning is good there, though. That ball just doesn't get to Matt Horace because he gets ball side and makes sure that that thing gets over, well over the goal for a corner kick. Lives to fight another day.
This is Paul Black with the corner. Referee just trying to cut down on the pushing and shoving inside the 6-yard box. And he's thumped this to the far post, and it is headed down nicely by McKenzie, but no one on the end of it, and that will be a John Smith's goal kick.
Ushering everyone to go up the field. Had a couple of short options. He said, look, Atlanta's not pressing anybody. Let's just thump it down.
Watson takes control, clears that ball. Amiobi's putting some pressure on it on the blind side. He'll chase that one down as well, but Suze will clear it. Dominant header by Milan Roberts to get the ball back through the middle. Amiobi just couldn't adjust in time.
I think he was still in an offside position coming back. A little bit of a breather there for Roshan McKenzie. I think he misplayed the first ball.
Goals from Lance Lang and Richie Jones. FC Edmonton are 2-0 ahead with half an hour to play at Clarke Stadium. Black cuts inside Niassi. Horth turns and plays it back for Black. Well played by Porter, and he's pinged a nice pass out to the right wing. Beautifully done. Cross into the box there. Bangura watched very well by Milan Roberts. who concedes, in fact, wins himself a goal kick in the process. So good defending by Roberts there, snuffing out the danger and getting the decision.
Yeah, since really the first 25-30 minutes, yes, Edmonton was struggling there. After scoring the goal and really taking charge of this game, the back line is really settled in its shape. And I got to tell you, the one player I've been really impressed with today, and I mean, he's not going to be a player who's going to get a lot of headlines, is Alan Zeeby. He's just been really steady in terms of not making any mistakes back there, moving from the left side to the right side. And for someone that young to be that composed, very, very impressive.
Look at Amiobi's robbed the possession away, and he will win a free kick, and there's going to be a yellow card here for Mackenzie. Beating him all ends up, brought him down from behind. Yellow for Mackenzie there, and a free kick in a pretty good position for FC Edmonton.
Amiobi still down. And this goes back to my point when this free kick is taken. Why do you need one player standing over? I think we all have a fairly good idea who's going to be on the end of this one.
Well, the trainer on for Amiobi. Chance for Colin Miller to talk to Milan Roberts on the sidelines there as Amiobi gets some treatment. Chance for the players to a quick drink.
You know, going back to what I was saying about Zeeby, Gareth, he was a player that came in because of an injury, and he just took the job and said, I'm not coming out of this lineup. And honestly, today, I've been very, very impressed. His awareness is just great on the field.
Played really well, Zeeby. Remember the Women's World Cup coming to Edmonton. Canada versus China in the first game. Also the opening ceremony, Saturday, June the 6th. The 4 p.m. kickoff over at Commonwealth Stadium. Already sold in excess of 30,000 tickets, but you can still get tickets at ticketmaster.ca.
Amiobi limping off, and Eddie's fans won't want to see that. They already saw Eddie Edward come out of this game. And they certainly wouldn't want to see the hottest scorer in NASL leave this game, or possibly have to miss any time. Starting to walk a little bit better.
And it looks like Jaime Chavez is going to come on for Atlanta. He's warming up on the sidelines here as Gary Smith gets ready to make another substitution. I don't think it will take place before the free kick. Amiobi is now on his feet, unaided. And the Eddie's free kick about to take place.
I don't think he'll take many chances because Frank Johnson's putting on his shirt, and I think he's getting ready. I think Colin Miller's going and saying to himself, look, I'm not taking any chances here. I'm not putting it back out there. We're in a position, we're in the advantage right now.
Driven towards the near post, and it's gone in from Fordyce. Somehow it creeps into the net, and all of a sudden FC Edmonton have a 3-0 lead.
Looked like Seuss was over. It just squeezed in underneath him. And I talked earlier in the game how impressed I was with him, but I think lately in the second half he's had some issues for Atlanta, and this ball comes near post. And yeah, it goes right underneath him. He's over. He's over there. He's got the position. He gets his hand on it, and he doesn't push it wide. It's still it's an excellent free kick by Daryl Fordyce, but Seuss has got to take a little bit of responsibility on that as well. I think that's one where he's over, and he's going to look at that and say, that's one I gotta push away, push the other side of the post. But now the Eddies in a commanding 3-0 lead.
3-0 straight back on the attack with the ball. Fordyce running to the edge of the box, playing it wide to the left. Here's Lang. Lang will try and go around the outside and drill it towards goal. It's gone over the top. Chance for a little respite for the Atlanta players. Now that FC Edmonton goal by Daryl Fordyce, another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House in Northern Alberta, courtesy Astor Pantry. A couple of substitutions just after that goal there. Chavez has come on and replaced Matt Horde for Atlanta, and for the Eddies, Jonky on in the middle by himself. He's replaced Amiobi, who's walking off the pitch behind the goal that the Eddies are attacking. The one that Rodales is attacking here, plays it through, but Jonky trying to score, trying to lift it over the goalkeeper, and it's just gone wide.
Good run by Frank Jonky there. The ball slid in through. He makes a nice little diagonal run, gets away from Mensing. Chips it up and over just wide, but now the Eddies really feeling it. And this is the team we were expecting to see from the start of the season, Gary. The team that was strong defensively, but could score. And we're seeing what happens if they can take the goals against out of their game. They still have that impressive offensive thrust. They've scored 3 times today against a very good defensive Atlanta team.
That's a good point, Steve. Yeah, the best defense in the league, tied with the Cosmos.
And they've given up 3 today, and we still have 25 minutes to play.
This is the kind of performance Colin Miller was looking for. He mentioned it in the pre-game show. If they can eliminate conceding goals, he always feels like his team can score them. And that's what this storyline is turning out to be today, with a 3-0 lead and 20 minutes still to play. 2 of them free kicks, Fordyce and Lang, and then a very well-worked goal that Richie Jones scored coming up from midfield.
And the first 20 minutes of the game, if I would have said to you, Gareth, it's going to be 3-0 Eddies at the 68-minute mark, you would have said, wow, the way this game's going, I can't see it. But it goes back to a few really huge saves made early in the game by John Smits, helped settle his team down. And I don't think his role in what's happened in this game can be discounted, because Atlanta could have been up 2-0 early.
Gary Smith telling us at halftime he was a little surprised his team had squandered the chances they'd made, and more than a little frustrated, and even he paid credit to Smits for the save that he made in those first few minutes. A good performance by Smits on his return to the team today. Definitely one of the storylines at Clarke Stadium.
Absolutely, and I think it'll be one that's going to get a lot of focus after this game if this result holds up.
And there's the man with the free kick there that he stepped out of his penalty box to take. And he's got it past halfway. Jonky's the target, and he gets a good flip header on that one. Jones chasing it away by Mensing, and then a Pong. Pong and Porter up against their old team, and 3-0 down at the moment. That's not going to run out for Milan Roberts. I think he's going to have to clear the ball. And he does in the end, conceding a throw-in. Moses' throw down the left-hand side, flicked up in the air. Drop in the middle of the park for Black to make a run forward. Rodales tries to stop him. It's with Porter. Porter moving in from the left-hand side. He's got a Pong alongside him. He'll just shuffle it wide to the right wing. In comes the early cross. That's easy for Roberts to get his head on it. Jonky winning possession back for FC Edmonton. He'll hold up the play nicely. He's got lots of support alongside him. Richie Jones and Fordyce away to the left. Lang is another option on the overlap. Here he is now, Lance Lang. Cross goes up to the middle of the penalty area, and very well claimed by Stuart Sues, who timed his jump to perfection on that one. Bangura takes a pass from Porter. Okafor down the right-hand side. Roberts is watching him very closely. Okafor hands the ball off, but Lang is back there doing a good job defensively, and he's cleared it nicely. And it drops to Fordyce. Fordyce playing it through the middle. It's given Niasse a little too much to do. Back pass going to Sues, who in turn finds his man Mensing. Roberts again patrolling his penalty area well, coming out and making the play.
Off the line very early. He knows that ball's coming through. Knows the run is being made. It was Bangura that time. He just said, not the best way to prevent this chance, not letting the ball get onto the forward's feet at all. And that just requires awareness from the keeper, knowing when he's got to come off the line, challenge for those balls.
Play by Rodales, just stealing possession back. Zeeby as well making a last-ditch tackle and the ball back with Rodales. Finds Jonky, easy 1-2. Looking so much more confident in possession now. FC Edmonton is with Lang on the left wing. Going to go around the outside and pull up across. Jonky's up there for it. It'll drop for Black, will tidy up for Atlanta. Great stretch by Rodales to get to that one, and Zeeby shows good pace as he brings the ball forward. Roberts has been caught once this season with hanging onto the ball outside of his penalty area. This time makes sure it goes back to Smits and he can clear it easily. Space in the midfield, playing one forward to Chavez. He heads it down for Bangura. He might just be able to keep it in. He does, right down by the corner flag on the left-hand side. Tries to get it back onto his left foot, and support from Black, whose cross is cleared easily by Milan Roberts. Throw into Atlanta that Apong takes quickly, and then gets the ball back. Bringing the ball forward for Atlanta. Porter playing one forward, Chavez the target, one back by Roberts again, forward ice over the top. Jonky's offside.
Yeah, he was on the wrong side of half there. He was behind Mensing there. Fairly easy call for the linesperson.
On the right-hand side, he's got Miller in support. Oh, goes the cross, and there's the header by Chavez, and he gets one back for Atlanta. And Watson not very happy with what happened there, but it's a goal back for the Silverbacks. It's 3-1.
Yeah, it was too easy there for Chavez. You see the cross, Okafor with the ball. I think that's cross comes in. Smits comes well out there, and he doesn't get the ball. And we've talked about this before. When the keeper comes off his line like that, he's got to get to the ball. And once he gets to the back post, it becomes a one-on-one battle, and Chavez has the easier job.
Niassi being replaced by Boakai for FC Edmonton. Substitution by Colin Mill, another fresh pair of legs for the Eddies.
And once again, the Eddies will not keep a clean sheet this year. So still some concerns in the back. We saw it there. marking slack, and I think that time John Smith's as good as he's been. He was caught in limbo a little bit there in no man's land. He wasn't on his line, he wasn't near the cross, and basically left an open net behind him.
McKenzie bringing the ball forward for Atlanta. Michael Reed now. All of a sudden, FC Edmonton have just dropped back a little bit, and the momentum swinging towards Atlanta, who are a little desperate now.
Yeah, you're giving them just that little ray of hope. You're up by 3, but now Atlanta's going to be thinking, look, there's still 12, 13 minutes stoppage time. Get one more. Get one more, and let's really make them nervous.
Boakai looking to get the ball back, and Zeeby's put it right in his path, and he's got the pace to get there easily. Boakai against Porter. On the right-hand side, moves it onto his left peg. Seems to have a lot of space out there as he weaves in between 2 Atlanta players. Picks out Jonky. Now Zeeby. Rodala's switching it to Lang on that left-hand side. Lang moving in onto his right foot, trying the right foot bender. That one's charged down. It's up in the air again. Good header by Moses to win the ball back. And he's stolen possession on the edge of the box. McKenzie takes it straight back from him and sends away Bankura. Rodala's trying to win the ball back from Bankura, and wins the throw in.
And you see McKenzie, ball does stop there though, so I think, you know, Moses is looking for a foul there, but it's clear that McKenzie stops the ball with that tackle.
Yeah, well-timed tackle there by McKenzie for sure. With Kareem Moses now, as we approach the last 10 minutes, plus any stoppages at Clarke Stadium. Mensing playing that one forward to the edge of the box. Roberts making a mistake for a moment, but then recovering well. And Boakai's in that bit of space right on halfway. Porto trying to win the ball off him, but the referee says there's a little bit too much pulling and pushing in there, and the free kick is for Boakai and Edmonton.
Dallas going to take this. Eddie's not getting too many men forward here. I think they're concerned if they give the ball away to Atlanta that they don't want to allow any sort of break. Jonky and Boakai pretty well alone up near the top of the box. If they play this long, Eddie's don't have a lot of numbers forward right now.
Chipped up by Roberts towards Jonky. Jonky gets a good head on that one. Jones helping it on, looking for Boakai. It'll drop to Fordyce. First time volley pass to Zeeby. Zeeby picks out Boakai. Here's where he's going to run at players. Tried the near post cross. That's cleared away, but picked up again by Richie Jones. Old Lang's robbed of possession there very well. But they've given it back. Bit of a mistake there by Atlanta, and Boakai chasing into the area. Boakai goes for goal, and he's just pushed it around the post. And Jonky screaming for it in the middle. It's going to be a goal kick.
Jonky's a little bit frustrated there. Boakai does everything there, and then he looks to go short side here. He's actually hurting himself on the angle the more he runs forward there. And Jonky, I think, is saying, "Come on, near post. I had a look."
Boakai again. This time he's given Fordyce a bit too much to do with that pass. And it's with Chavez, the Atlanta scorer. Okafor to his right. There's Reed. Outside of the foot cross, looking for Porter. He's overcooked it. It's a goal kick for FC Edmonton.
But I think with both Jonky and Boakai, players are coming in as subs. They both desperately want to make some kind of impression. So they're both looking to score. They're both looking to do something to put themselves up in the pecking order more. Clearly see, you know, Boakai wants to come in the game and wants to take it all on himself. That's the product of just really wanting to show off to the coach, to say, look, I'm ready to take on more.
Christian Rodales, the ball that he's played down that left-hand channel. Jonke's chasing it. It's been passed back to Suze. Can't pick it up from there. Fashioned a pretty good clearance out of it down the left-hand side, and Black thought he'd kept the ball in, but the flag up. And it's going to be a throw-in for FC Edmonton, once again taking the sting out of another Atlanta counter-attack.
Can't imagine the Eddies are going to be too much of a hurry to take many of these throw-ins or these free kicks coming later. Giving up the goal, but they'll still feel they're in a comfortable position in this game.
Zeeby's throw down the right-hand side. Jonke and Apong challenging for it. It's another Eddie's throw-in.
You see Zeeby's just strolling up to the ball. He'll take his time.
Jonke's held that one in play, and Boakai chasing it to the corner flag, and he's just muscled into the touchline, and you don't get away with those. That's a definite free kick for FC Edmonton.
I don't know what Mensing is concerned about there. Seems to be talking to the official there. Yeah, there's not close to the ball when you're doing that.
Well, good for Boakai, putting the pressure on, making the run, and forcing that error. Another substitution, Gary Smith rolling the dice and bringing on Christopher Christian. They're trying to do it before the free kick here. And it's going to happen now. Christian on for the last 5 minutes. Miller replaced. Fordyce is going to take this free kick.
The 7 looks like a 1.
It's gone to the far post. Going to run all the way through for Lang. Another chance for a cross. It's gone in low, and there's the header, and there's the goal. And it's Kareem Moses who scored for FC Edmonton, and that's number 4.
And I guess Kareem Moses is going to get a card for that, because he's gone leaping into the crowd to celebrate with the supporters group. I mean, if there's going to be consistency, I guess, after Lance Lang got it earlier in the game. But another great cross by Lance Lang.
Just drives this one in low. And Moses reacting really quickly. That's a good header. That's a goal scorer's header.
4 goals against the top defense in the league. And he's coming into this game.
And he placed that so beautifully in the corner. I think it shaved the paint of the post on the way in. Kareem Moses with his first goal for the Eds.
First goal of the season. I think he scored against Indy last year. On the road. But
the other end, they've got to defend one here. And that's a great save again by Smits. Got a fingertip on that. And then it came back off the crossbar. That was definitely going in. That has to go down as a save from Bangura. The danger's still not gone. It will be here.
It definitely changed trajectory off of Smits' hand. You're right there, Gareth. Bangura's shot was labeled for the top corner, and it does change direction.
It's a one-on-one chance.
Yeah,
and look at that.
You
He
can see
saves
the
it.
spin on the ball changes. You can see the fingertips rolled up off the fingertips. He got a piece of that. That's full marks to the keeper.
That's a terrific reflex stop, though. It was from point-blank range, a one-on-one chance.
And that's the 4th point-blank save that he's made today. The 4th.
That ball definitely headed for the top right-hand corner. And Smits with the fingertip push onto the crossbar. That was some acrobatic goalkeeping. 4-1 could have been 4-4 here today. That FC Edmonton goal by Kareem Moses, another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy Pasta Pantry. Eddies have conceded a free kick here. Rodales, edge of the penalty box. Atlanta will need to take this quickly. We're into the last 3 minutes of normal time. Free kick, it's gone very high to the far post, headed back across the face of goal. The angle is very, very narrow, and it's going to be...
It was in. It was in, I think. Yep, I think that was Christian that got his head to it.
Bounced in and out. So hard to see.
I think that's what's Colin Miller's so disgusted. I think far post, and I think it's another defensive breakdown here, and I think Christian just gets to it, and I think that actually is an own goal. I think this goes off Fordyce and in. I think Christian is heading this across the face of goal. Yeah, and I don't know if I think that hits Fordyce. Definitely an own goal for Daryl Fordyce.
Looks like an own goal.
Yeah, it's an own goal for Daryl Fordyce.
Well, Fordyce gets one in each net. In today's game, the header was from such a narrow angle. Hard to see what was happening there, but Fordyce just, in trying to clear it, just blasted it over the line. And...
to be fair, I don't know if Fordyce doesn't nudge that in, there's an Atlanta player standing right behind him, and I think it nudges into an open goal. But I think Christian there was playing that ball across the goal, and it hits Fordyce up on the thigh, and it goes in.
Atlanta with another free kick. Black to the far post. Danger in there, the ball still not cleared. Bouncing around, the strike. Now they get it clear. Lance Lang just blasting it into touch. It's a throw in. We're into the last minute of the 90 minutes. And then there will be some stoppages, partly because of the Amiobi stoppage.
There's been quite a few goals as well, so I think you need to have some stoppage time for the goals.
Well played by Boakai to win the ball back, and Fordyce playing it down the right-hand side. Jonke chasing. Mensing will have the measure of that one back to Suze.
But now that the Moses goal looms larger, because Atlanta did get that second goal that we talked about, but Moses got that extra insurance.
Aguirre at the other end here, and once again, Smits denies him. But once again, Colin Miller will have a lot of questions about these breakdowns that keep happening.
I don't know how in the past the 90th minute you're protecting a lead, how Bangura gets that wide open in the middle of the penalty area, Gareth. Another fantastic save by John Smits. I think he's had a fantastic game, even though he's given up 2 goals. I think one, he came off the line on the first Atlanta goal where he could have some questions. I don't think he can really have much to ask on the second goal.
Boakai's looked very good since he's come on. He's made another good pass there. He wants the ball back from Lang, but Lang switch play to the right-hand side. A perfect 50-yard raking pass onto the bootlaces of Fordyce. Fordyce trying to keep the ball in play on the touchline, and in fact, what he's ended up doing is winning a free kick, which will kill a few more seconds in this match with FC Edmonton.
But really, Gareth, you look at it, it's 4-2, but we count up Bangura has had 2 chances in alone, point blank, in the last 10 minutes. You look at the chances early in the game that Atlanta had that John Smits turned away. But just in the last 10 minutes, as comfortable as the Eddies should be in this game, Bangura's had 2 wide open looks, and this game could be 4-4.
It really could be. But another entertaining match for the fans, that's for sure. At Clarke Stadium, as Fordyce just pitches one into the penalty box there, and Souza will claim it. We have played the 90 minutes. We're now into stoppage time at Clarke Stadium, and we've got 4 extra minutes.
And I know there's been a lot said about the keepers in Edmonton this year. But honestly, with some of the breakdowns, when you see how wide open Bangura was, you could put Manuel Neuer back there, and there would be goals scored because of the way the Eddies give up some space and make mistakes in their own end.
Porter's got another free kick for Atlanta, showing some good hustle there to keep going right at the end of the match. Deep into stoppage time. It's 4-2. If they were to sneak another one here, it would be a nerve-jangling last minute. There's Black's ball to the far post. Smits claims it this time and makes a good catch.
Yeah, but I think we can say with some certainty that if you want to see goals, watch FC Edmonton every week, because this is generally the fixture every week at NASL that produces the most scoring, week after week. Whenever FC Edmonton
on Fordyce, and then Kareem Moses with a goal in the 84th minute. That made it 4-1, but since then Atlanta came back into it again with what seemed like would probably go down as an own goal. I don't think the ball was over the line before Fordyce touched it. And that's where we are at the moment, 4-2.
I will say NASL scorers tend to be very, very generous with not awarding own goals. We saw it earlier this year when Minnesota was here. A goal that Matt Van Oekel, I think, knocked into his own goal that was given as a goal for Minnesota and wasn't credited as an own goal. So it really doesn't matter in the end. A goal is a goal. But yeah, I would definitely have called that an own goal.
Perhaps Christian will want to claim it as well. There's all of that plays into it sometimes.
Absolutely. And I don't fault any players who wants to say, well, I think that would have gone in anyways. I think that's my goal. And in the long run, it's just a statistic in the end. The goal counts. It's a good goal. It doesn't really change the outcome. I mean, the fact is that the Eddies have given up 2 goals today. And again, I think Colin Miller will look at each of those goals and say, guys, those could have been prevented.
For this last few seconds, well then, this will definitely vault them off the bottom of the table, and they'll jump a couple of places. They've won 3 points. It's a home victory for the Eddies, and the home fans are happy about that one. You can just feel the relief at Clarke Stadium after a pretty tough week, a devastating cup loss, and prior to that, last weekend, a home defeat, but not today. Back to winning ways, a 4-2 home win. Great game at Clarke Stadium. Our post-game shows coming up after the break. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium. The home fans celebrating a 4-2 win for FC Edmonton over Atlanta today. Great game. 6 goals. Could have been more for both teams, but in the end, 3 points for FC Edmonton. Let's join the Atlanta coach, Gary Smith. Been good enough to join us at pitchside. Thank you, Gary. Just tell us, I mean, you've got one of the best defenses in the league. What'd you put down to conceding 4 today?
Well, second period was definitely not a reflection of what we're about. There's no doubt Edmonton made the most of their opportunities and scored at very good junctures in the game, and effectively, you know, killed off any resistance that we might have been able to show. Look, you know, the simple fact is, when you're in a good position early on in the game, as most coaches know, you need to take advantage of those positive spells. We didn't. They scored with their first real opportunity, which is full credit to their strike force. And then at varying points of the game, we were unable to really put the Edmonton group back for under any real sort of stress or pressure for the final moments of the game. And I think chances you've already pointed out. It could have been 4-4, but of course, you know, at the other end, we've probably dodged a bullet with 1 or 2 as well. So very disappointed with the result, but not at all disappointed with the amount of chances we're creating.
Thanks very much, Gary.
You're welcome.
Gary Smith joining us from the pitch, and he mentioned at half-time he was pleased with the way his team was playing at that point, but just not able to capitalize. And that turned out to be the final story that he just mentioned there as well. So disappointed, the game just slipping away from him in the second half. Let's hear the analysis from the Eddies coach, Steve.
And we have the coach, Colin Miller. Colin, maybe a little bit of 2 things to look at in this game. You have to, again, be overjoyed attacking-wise, the chances you create, the chances you convert, but defensively still giving up a lot of looks.
Yeah, you've summed it up again, Steve. You're quite a clever boy, eh? It's, yeah, I'm really delighted, you know, when you think of the amount of games that we've had over the last period. You know, people forget that. You know, it's easy to be critical of these players, but I've got to be very proud of them for the amount of games we've had, the travelling, the amount of quality football we've had to produce over the last little while against a very good Ottawa team, home and away in the Amway, and then against the Vancouver Whitecaps, home and away, as well as the Cosmos, etc., San Antonio and stuff. So it's not been an easy spell for the players. So there's some very, as poor as the defending was at times, I'm hoping to put some of that down to a bit of fatigue, and I've got to give the players credit. Well done to John Smits. He's come in and saved us here today, because potentially that could have been 9-6, you know, and that's not the type of football I want to see from a defensive point of view. But goodness me, the chances we're creating is fantastic. The crowd is once again fabulous here today, really pushing us over the line. We needed this result. We know we did. The whole club needed it because of where we were in the league, which I felt was a false position. But we now have a very quick turnaround again. It's incredible how these fixtures keep coming. But we now play on Friday night, you know, and we've got to travel to Ottawa. So it's not easy. They had a late win yesterday. So we'll have to regroup. I've given the players 2 days off and the staff, because we all need it, because it's been a hell of a schedule the last little while.
All right, thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Colin Miller very pleased with his team today, as he should well be. 3 points, much needed 3 points, takes them off the bottom, and even just psychologically that's a huge thing for the players moving into the game on Friday night. Well, let's hear from John Smits. He's been named as the man of the match today. Several big saves for FC Edmonton, some of them in the first few minutes. John, just tell us about your own game back there, and how you felt being back in the team today.
Oh, I mean, it felt great. I was my whole approach was, you know, you got to play every game like it's your last, and you know that's what it kind of feels like being on this team sometimes, when you know you don't know if you're going to get called in the next week or the week after, and you just have to perform like it's your last game. And it felt great to get my first minutes out there. I mean, I spent more minutes in the field today than I did all of preseason combined, so it was great to get the victory with the boys. So,
let's begin with that double save that you made. If you could just talk us through that in the opening stages.
I was kind of caught in 2 minds at first. I was, you know, I wanted to come out and make the punch out, but I just thought, you know, it'd be a shame to come out, and if I mistimed it, you know, it wouldn't be a great start. So I said, you know what, I'm going to trust my reactions. And when their guy got the hit on it first, I was like, oh shoot, you know, I can't let this go in the first minute. We can't keep this.
For the team, a much needed home victory for them, and that man as well there, Kareem Moses, on the score sheet today for FC Edmonton.
And I think Colin Miller said it could have been 9-6 with the way the chances were flying, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't necessarily look at Atlanta and say, wow, this is one of the best defensive teams in the league. Another extremely wide open, very entertaining game. And it's not often a goal that's got a game that's got 6 goals in it that we call the keeper the man of the match.
That's another good point, Steve. Yeah, 4-2, and Smith's man of the match. It just shows you the influence he had back there. That's the difference it made to the table. FC Edmonton, middle of the pack, closing in on the top 3 or 4 places now, very close after 3 points today.
But they've got to do it all on the road now. They have no more home games in the spring season. And again, going back to the Women's World Cup and what it's done to the NASL schedule, Edmonton's got to be out of town now. And they're going to have to do it on the road, where they've traditionally not nearly been as strong as they have been at home.
Let's look back at the highlights from today's 4-2 victory. This is what got it going. Lance Lang, that's a bullet.
The absolute rocket. It wasn't about placement there, even though it was perfectly placed inside the post. It was about hammering it home.
Then Amiobi's nice header across the face, and Jones is there to make it 2.
Lang with the first very good back post cross. Amiobi with an absolute perfect layoff. Richie Jones doesn't, to be fair, he's in the right spot at the right time.
This one probably one that Suze would want back. Fordyce definitely sneaked that in at the near post, but I think the goalkeeper perhaps would acknowledge he might have done better with that one.
It's a good free kick, but yeah, you're right. Suze is over. He needs to get his hand over it.
Lang's influence was to continue, finding his teammate Moses there, who stooped low with the header, and he gets on the score sheet.
Goes in head first into the crowd there. Yeah, I enjoy that. He's so positive, such a positive individual. I know he just loved that moment.
Really popular player with the fans as well. Here's the save of the game. Dennison making a run right through the heart of the defense, and Horth just gets robbed by Smits there.
Yeah, and again, we talked about there was 2 goals given up, but Smits had about 4 or 5 saves. You could have had a pickup. It would actually be a difficult decision today, saving the game, because there's a couple on Bangura that could have been up there too.
Man of the match, John Smits. Those are a combination of the saves he made on the way to helping his team to a much-needed 3 points. Lang got them going, and then the goals came. 4 of them at home today. Hope you enjoyed the match and the broadcast today. 3 points for FC Edmonton, a 4-2 win over Atlanta.